What do you mean?
You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? Goeiemorgen YouTube! Grab your cup of coffee and sit back because today we are doing Doki Doki Literature Club, or Doki Doki if you want to be technical, once again. And last time we left off, there was this list of people and I asked you guys to put in the comments who you think I should show my poem to first. Not a lot of people commented though, so I used a I used a randomizer to figure out who I shall show my poem to first, which I will show you now. So as you can see, the first person who we're going to show a poem to is Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. Yeah. I can trust her opinion, to be fair. Still don't know how to read the ... though. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? Just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. Was it that bad, really? Oh, so it's that bad. No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. What does that mean? The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once you refine her trains of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. As you guys can notice, I've lost Yuri's voice again. I need to look through the old tapes again, but I don't have time now, so yeah, her voice is gonna constantly change through the series. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Yes, please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the lights. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing, it must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green light of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. That's interesting. Interesting poem. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. That's actually true. I struggle to read your poem. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. Really? Glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghost jury? Actually, the story isn't about the ghost at all, DanTheDrummer. Really? It's about the street lamp dummy. I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings and experiences in their work. I get flashbacks of high school going through all those poems. Every single exclamation mark, period, or even spelling mistake, and why it was there. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in a last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's not really. Well, it makes me happy to think that you think that. Just remember that it wouldn't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Who's next on my list? It's Monica. Hi, DanTheDrummer. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. This character is hitting too close to home. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, DanTheDrummer. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But isn't that sort of barrier that we'll all But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayori would like. What? Is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had those sort of things in common. Well, we may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case. But maybe there are also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you. It sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. even if you show it in different ways, it end up being more similar than you'd think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when reading your poem. You sure you're not reading into it too much? I could be. I really can't remember when writing my poem which one of those little thingies jumped the most. I thought I was writing it for Yuri, but looks like I might have misjudged my poem writing skills. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sayori's writing has kind of a gentle feel to it. I can tell that she likes exploring with emotions, like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too? Yeah, that's totally unexpected. Well, to each their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kind of styles. But I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Haha. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's 'cause I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction of the spackle protrudes, a noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, and I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in. That's an interesting poem. So, what do you think? It's very freeform. Is that what you call it? Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip for the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Wow, that's actually a good point. Not just for poem writing, but for life in general. If you have like a project and you try and make it perfect, then you'll never be done because you'll never reach perfection. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen on the same spot for too long, you'll get a big dark puddle of ink. Okay. That's actually an interesting way to think about it. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Next is Sayori.
Oh my goodness. This is so good, DanTheDrummer. I love it. I had no idea you were such a good writer.
Sayori, you must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either.
Jeez. Yuri's opinion was way more constructive than this. Maybe even Natsuki's, but you haven't heard Natsuki's yet. Bad programming. Are you sure you don't like it because I wrote it?
Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people, you know? So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem. It's a DanTheDrummer poem. And that makes it feel extra special. Like I can feel your feelings in it.
Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. You're so weird, Sayori.
I'm really happy just to have you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room? Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, DanTheDrummer. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much of this means to her and all.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you.
Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then.
Yay! Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We'll see about that.
Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away the rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast.
We all know who she wrote this poem about. It's not about sunshine. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this?
No, just a little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Wow, if she did this morning, she's actually quite a good writer. Well, at least it makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah. Especially the last line.
I made eggs and toast.
Even though you were late for school?
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
I always skip breakfast. That's one bad thing about me. I never eat breakfast in the morning. My breakfast is coffee. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This was so much fun. Monica's the best.
Yeah.
But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
Well, I guess I look forward to it. And last but not least, we do Natsuki's poem.
Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you.
That's a little blunt.
Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just doesn't evoke any emotions.
So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes.
Do you want to get smacked?
I'll pass.
Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it.
It's an interesting poem.
Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
Wow, that was breaking the fourth wall a little bit. Wow, okay. Interesting. I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits me hard. It hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening.
That's true, actually.
So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little bit more stressful than I anticipated. It is as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I get a deja vu. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrow furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's with this language?
Eh? Did you say something?
Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
It is actually. Oh, thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up.
I did not catch that even when I was reading the poem.
How can that be cute?
I know that. I just meant for language, I guess.
I was trying to say something nice.
You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all.
Well, I do have a couple suggestions.
If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it.
But then you don't get constructive criticism. So you actually need to ask someone that doesn't like it, and then with the comments that they give you, then go back and rewrite the poem.
Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and then the drummer did too.
Actually, I did not like it, because I can't remember it.
So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all,
Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet.
Yee.
And DanTheDrummer liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that DanTheDrummer appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours.
Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay?
Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as DanTheDrummer started showing up.
Plastic surgery? I didn't notice that. Natsuki? Natsuki, that's a little... Okay, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be interesting.
This doesn't involve you.
I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. DanTheDrummer, she's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted with no reason? The meaning should jump out at the readers, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, DanTheDrummer.
I'm actually with Yuri on this one. Wait! There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessary limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, DanTheDrummer?
Well?
How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. That's actually quite true. He knows nothing, and yet they're asking him about their writing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. It's going to be Yuri. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem.
See?
Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different.
That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously.
I understand. Yuri? You're a seriously talented writer.
It's no secret that I was impressed.
Well, that's.
But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute.
I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry.
But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place.
Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that.
Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her.
Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head.
Sayori, she doesn't need to.
You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now.
Without warning, Natsuki snatches up her own poem from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash.
Natsuki?
She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at the desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Everything alright?
I'm just so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now.
No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it all well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you.
Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, DanTheDrummer. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have a part of this club. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now.
It's nothing.
One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. So,
what thing did Natsuki say?
Well, never mind that. I'm going to make some tea.
Good idea. Do you think he really didn't know what Natsuki said, or was that more of like a, we'll never, the kind of like when your friend tells you, we'll never speak about the dead body again, and you'll be like, what dead body? As in sort of a confirmation? I wonder. Make enough for more than one person, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you feel about sharing poems?
It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it.
It was alright. Well, mostly.
DanTheDrummer, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learned something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination.
DanTheDrummer, ready to walk home?
Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori. About what happened earlier.
What do you mean?
You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often?
No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that.
What the? Oh.
I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you?
No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they make good friends with you.
Phew. You know, DanTheDrummer, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too.
That's...
Every day is going to be so much fun.
Sigh.
It looks like Sayori still hasn't got onto the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there?
We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori.
I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do this. Okay, we're gonna try and write this poem once again. And hopefully we can get the right girl to like the poem. Massacre. Disaster. Brave scars, shopping, milk, chocolate. Marriage, scars, probably. What? Okay. Covet, cheer, universe, nightgown, purity. Pure eternity. I think eternity? Yes. Right. Incongruent. Incongruent? I know anime is Natsuki. Let's do this word. Contamination. Romance. I just need to put romance. Graveyard. Infallible, uncanny, disarray. Infallible. Explode, essence. I like the word essence. I just like it. Tenacious. Question destiny. Destiny. Happiness, frightening, waterfall, lollipop. Just to put something random in there. Peace, unstable. Kitty, bunny, empty. Prayer, rainbow, games, family, fickle. Prayer, damn. Inferno, yes. Tragedy. Getting the wrong person. Broken. What? Agonizing. Okay, I think after that poem we're gonna call it quits now and then start up with this because it's about 40 minutes this episode has been. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you want to become a citizen of Rhythm City, please subscribe. And I'm probably gonna read poems again today, so put in the comments whose poem you think I should read first. And as always guys, remember, keep the rhythm.